Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man.
Morel's trap stands empty, just like the boathouses around it. The reeds susurrate softly amidst the falling snow. The locusts, dazed from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate to their new surroundings. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good, now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending apocalypse of a murder investigation? Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
He doesn't want to, but if there is one more cryptozoological runaround, he must force the investigation back on track. This better be it.
Hello, dear. It's good to see you familiar. Thank you for doing that, dear. Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him. Yes. Field work is a young person's game, as they say.
Her voice is shaky. What is going on here?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself.
Fuck that cough. It's not happening. The insides of your lungs are lined with tobacco, a powerful antibacterial agent. You are unstoppable. Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
Different? How? I'm in doubt, sweetie. That's all. Everyone is now and then. It's a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer.
And when a police officer asks, you must answer.
Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream? Seeing the Insulindian phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not. Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone. No, at least I don't think I did, but Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the phasmid's existence, that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That, and for years his belief made me believe too. But now we're both getting old and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was.
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything.
A true believer. Sometimes I still see it too. The real memory of it, how it was there. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart. Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary. Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. And then a taxi home. It's not so bad.
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Morel. Okay, it's 1113 Tabernacle Road, Jamrock, but... Likewise, sweetie. Thank you for everything. Truly. Even though it turned out to be a
waste of time. A lie? Like that, she drives off. The gas engine sputters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, it's snowing.
We should go too.
The door is closed again. Nothing to do here. You hear someone inside.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? More lessons in basic reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
6 kilometers southwest, in the Valley of Dogs, Junior Officer Chad Tilbrook takes aim at a rabid black dog licking its wounds in the grass. To his left, his partner, Emil Mullins, whispers, "You heard what happened to Tequila Sunset in Martinez?" "Yes, he lost his mind," Tilbrook answers, fingers on the trigger. "Don't worry, Emil." He pulls it out slowly. Slowly now. He'll find it again. We always do.
You're an officer of the RCM. Preciso mundo. Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body of post-revolutionary Revachol, Detective.
Yes, we are the Revachol Citizens Militia.
He's being sarcastic.
We are.
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest of the coalition government and to its chagrin. The RCM's responsibilities are defined by the Emergency, Wayfarer and Aliments Acts, 3 pieces of legislation keeping the city in a, let's be honest, laissez-faire stasis to the benefit of foreign capital.
All 3 are good to know when we are out policing.
There's nothing basic about your role, Detective. It's true that the RCM keeps everything the way our seemingly permanent, provisional rulers like it. Yet, on the other hand, I know these people. I deal with them daily. Let me tell you, dear, they are not fans of you. The post-revolutionary decade was a disaster for the coalition government. Revachol in the 20s was hell, especially on the west side of the river. Gang warfare, a botched privatization scheme, a nuclear pile meltdown. They called it the international zone because no nation wanted to claim responsibility. The RCM restored peace where the coalition failed. A true blue citizens' initiative. They will never forgive you.
That's somewhat of an exaggeration. In reality, ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement. Revacholians get to keep the peace in Revachol, and the coalition doesn't have to worry about it. Anyway, sorry to intrude. Please continue.
Yes, Lieutenant. Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are, to me, is the police. The only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revachol. And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I'm here to help. Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body of post-revolutionary Revachol, Detective.
Yes, we are the Revachol Citizens Militia.
He's being sarcastic.
We are.
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international... Permit me to conclude with this. And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I am here to help.
She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor. A devourer of nations and infants. I am an ultra.
It's sharp.
Haven't you heard? I am a nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp, one of those who pushed the king under a shit wagon and betrayed the revolution. We surrendered the nation to financier pirates. No sane person identifies as ultra-liberal anymore. Not in broad daylight. I can see we're not so different, you know. Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself, do you find me frightening?
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and pride.
I do hope so. I do hope we're able to remain collegial despite it all. Tell me, when you look in the mirror, do you not see a monster staring back at you? When the dust settled, the Liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation managed. With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinez a monument to the efficacy of its artillery.
While a gentle wind sweeps the streets in the rebuilt east, light drizzle washing it clean, lights go up and motor carriages circulate the tracks.
I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the Coalition. Not here in Martinez, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either. If not for my own sake, then for my daughters. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isola down rather than let them have it. Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother and a wife. Now, shall we return to reality? A bird? A Svenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions? Some sort of krill hunter? No, wait. You're an ancient ruin. A symbol of hubris and decay. Half submerged in some salty sea. Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games. Ah. This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Ghislaine, 33A, where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot. Or two. A pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After les bâtiments nouveaux. But 33A and 33B are not nouveaux. They're old. This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall. A real high-rise by the standards of the last century. Built to mirror the skyscrapers across the bay in the Delta. That was before the war, of course. Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate, before the cannons lopped 4 or 5 stories off. Splat, splat.
You could be wrong, but from here it appears as if she's running the brush across her throat in a soaring motion.
Wonderful. The girl in the old lady rags? Ah, yes. There's something very satisfying about discussing the fundamental facts of reality. Go ahead. Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else? Of course. Anything to help. Yes. I'm afraid this strike may descend into a small-scale civil war, with possible consequences for all of Rivershoal West.
Since you are sharing, ma'am, This is also the RCM's worst-case scenario.
Then we're on the same page, as grim as it may be. Not much. Their public resume is relatively good, as far as private military contractors go. I believe they were once called Downwell. They boast a long list of clients, Saint-Baptiste.
Meaning they're used to operating in war zones.
Yes. All the good Sadly, no. Before this happened, I had little interest in them. Now that I do, I don't have the resources. If you still have access to the ICP's database, you could run a better background check than I ever could. It may take some time, though.
Do you know a lot about the inner workings of the RCM and the ICP, man?
In my line of work, it pays to do your research. I was prepared to deal with the RCM. I did not think I'd be dealing with a group like Crenel. I have, and they will. However, these orders take time to reach what is basically a rogue unit out in the field here. Until they do, it's all on us.
She's being truthful. She is pressing them as hard as she can.
Or he didn't. This is information passed on to me from some teenagers loitering around the canal. I cannot testify by it. The remaining contractors, their tribunal, it's what they believe. That the man was killed because he assaulted a local woman. I've asked around a bit. This seems to be the accepted story around Martinez.
This does not come as news to us, but still. To your knowledge, where did this assault take place, if you know?
Last Sunday night, at the Whirling in Rags, the hostel by the gates. Supposedly, the colonel was drunk, maybe on narcotics too. Either way, he's alleged to have sexually assaulted a woman. Sometime later, a group of dock workers got their hands on him. Good. Then you've made progress. It's imperative that you move fast. The tribunal will not be patient. If you mean did I see him alive, yes. But I did not know him. Lely, his service name, a nom de guerre, most likely. He wouldn't divulge his full name. Only one of them did. A bad sign if there ever was one. One is a man, Corty, they call him, a nickname as well. The other a woman, Phyllis DePaul. Corty is the gunner, I believe. DePaul is a radio operator.
What would you say was his eye color, the deceased's?
She closes her eyes, trying to picture the man's face, then shakes her head.
I can't remember.
The lieutenant was testing her, asking a small detail first to see if she knew him better than she let on. She passed.
That's all right, man. Anything else? Nationality? What would you say was his age?
He was 40. Or 50. It's hard to say which. He had a combat injury on his lower jaw. It made it difficult to estimate his age, or gauge his facial expressions.
This matches the dental reconstruction we saw on the body. And Classier also mentioned it, I believe. What else? Nationality? Accent?
He was, Occidental, I think. Light brown hair, a mixed accent, Oranese, or Messinian, maybe. His injury gave him an accent all his own. In a way, it was humanizing. He had to learn to speak through it, through the injury. That's all I know, I guess. I only met him once. They've gone to ground, as it were. I don't recommend seeking them out. For one, they're almost certainly armed to the teeth. They don't have the same respect for the Revachol citizens' militia as I do. To put it bluntly, they think you're vigilantes. Ghetto savages. It will not be a fruitful meeting.
Vigilantes. You're a professional officer of the only legitimate authority in Revachol.
Did you miss the part about ceramic armor and automatic weapons, Detective?
That is a bad idea. One I won't be a party to. That's wise. Our goal is to avert catastrophe. Besides, until the executions start? Truthfully, I don't know. It depends on their progress identifying the members of the lynch mob, and their impatience.
They don't report their progress to you?
Not on this matter. I'm afraid they consider this a personal initiative. It's a matter of days, not weeks. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything else I can help you with, please ask.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
The lieutenant is desperately searching for another handkerchief. Hatred, disgust, it's difficult to tell which of the woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That Ozon her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershore. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
On a first-name basis with her, are we? Piggy's moving up in the world. It's where they grow whores like her, and their whoremen. Have you got a crush on her? Aching for an opportunity to defend her honor?
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
Again? I can't believe this shit. I'm going to say no, just to see what you'll say to that. What'd you say? Okay.
Jean, he said okay. Give it a rest.
Okay, I was clearly wrong. He is a firefighter, male nurse, animal control agent, something of that kind. Not a cop. Go on with your cop work. Don't let me stop you again.
Yes? What is it? Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask?
And you look like you don't bathe, on principle.
Please, let's not turn this into another exchange, okay? I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything, Judith. Me? No. I'm just a man with sunglasses. I like wearing sunglasses inside. Sunglasses and a fucking wig.
Okay.
I'm just looking out for...
No one. I'm just a man with sunglasses. And you are?
Yes. A policewoman who just wants to do her job. That's all. What precinct?
Am I from? God, he doesn't know.
Fucking deranged lunatic.
You're getting an intellectually unsatisfying vibe from this conversation. Maybe you're doing something wrong.
God damn it, you leave her alone. Keep your weird bullshit to yourself and be professional for once forth.
Can I actually help you with something?
Yes, of course. Preposterous. I mean, you would remember if they were, right? Who forgets their squad mates? That's not possible.
Of course I'm with him. Why do you ask?
You're an asshole. You know what? Maybe we're both assholes.
Please, let's not turn this into another exchange, okay?
Again? I can't believe this shit. Okay. Let's be crazy. Let's say you and I are partners. How's that for a thought experiment? I'm sure he's fucking flattered, but Kim is not part of his thought experiment. In this one, we are partners.
The lieutenant is silent.
None taken, my friend. None taken. Let's be honest. There's been some purely fictional talk in our imaginary station in regards of who'd even be worthy of your partnership. And the conclusion is that a man with your caliber should form his own one-man policing unit. Anyone else would just slow you down. Oh no. You see, I enjoy watching other better cops solve crimes. And let me tell you, it's been quite a privilege seeing you work.
This isn't helping.
You're not going to believe this, but police officers. Yes, sir. Solving crimes, locking up bad guys, and get this, and not getting that drink on at 2 o'clock. Just some regular boring motherfuckers in suits and uniforms. Nothing spectacularly extravagant like you, the far-out son of Lang. Oh, it's you eccentric genius. I mean, with your unorthodox approach to police work, it has to be you. Not even a little bit.
It's an urban myth about an officer who is so far undercover he can't remember who he is. As I said, just an urban myth. You are not the son of Lang.
Okay, yes, you get the joke. Leave it at that.
Neither can I, partner. Neither can I. Okay, why not? Let's do the old thing over again. So, do you know who hanged him? I don't know. Oh my god, there's more. You want...
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a dye? Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. I think I have just the right one for you.
Police colors.
You're a police officer, right? Here, catch. They're a gift from me.
A beautiful woman tossing you a gift. Whatever you do, don't overthink it. 2 tiny pieces of carved stone drop to the floor and scatter in opposite directions, like pearls from a broken string. The blue one disappears down the pit in the center of the room.
Ah, down the drain, like your career. I apologize, officer. That comment was unnecessary. That one is made of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay. The other one was the inverse. They were a set, you see, but now the set is broken. It's a shame. They might have brought you luck. You definitely need luck in Martinez. Now, was there anything else? Nothing really. I didn't know him.
The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
She nods.
Anything else, officer? Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. A star that fell from the firmament? Those cost more than 7 real. Are you sure? Yes, you definitely have the proper attitude. How about a pair of 100-sided dice, made of ivory and inlaid with lodestone, a naturally occurring magnet, to complement your magnetic personality?
Pieces of lodestone were used as the first magnetic compasses, from which they derive their other name, coarse stones.
10 real, and I can get these ready in 8 hours. It's true, magnetic dice are definitely different. When rolled together, the magnetic fields of the pips interact with each other to push and pull on each other as they're rolled, just like all magnetic personalities do. Great, see you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else? I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
East Delta Commerce Center? This must be the name of the doomed commercial area. Silence. No one's home at Fortress Accident.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Hey, was there something you needed?
Looking for something?
Right to work! Right to work! The already familiar cold touch of plastic welcomes you as you pick up the handset. Before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you...
Mr. Dubois, every worker for himself, right? What can I do for you today? Great! You want to bounce something off your old friend, Mr. Clare, right? Well, let's hear it, Harry. If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
It's perfectly okay. Even if you've told her everything we've talked about, it's absolutely fine. Absolutely, Harry. What's on your mind? Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens my day like brainstorming these things with you. But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else? By all means, Harry, what's on your mind? My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbour. I rarely do, Harry. I have people for that. Now, you were saying?
Promising race pupil returns. I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, you pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him. He is usually more himself.
The hardy manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to the union alone. And I do this out of race heroism. Finance is an alien concept to the Seminoles. Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of my woman. Fine. They have recently fallen under the influence of a possibly sexually perverted female vagrant and a narcotics peddler. It's shameful. Find out for yourself, endomorphic blub.
Interesting.
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you?
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big. The woman still has her eye.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind? Nope, don't smoke. Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around. Waiting for the jam to disperse? Or waiting for the sweet release of death?
Yup. Nothing wrong with that statement. Your senses have nothing to add. You left the ask around elsewhere.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit. With 3 T's. Rebishaw's weird.
The trap is full of locusts, but they seem weak and unhealthy. A few lie on their backs with their legs twitching. Still, no phasmid.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help?
Don't call. Don't call.
There's no waking him from his stupor. A few locusts trudge along the wall of the trap. The rest are piled in a heap in the corner, dead. No phasmid anywhere.
Hello again. I do have some money, yes, but that's not what's really important here.
He's not gonna give you money. What are you doing? No, I mean, come on. You need the money. If it's not a thing, he can give you some.
Oh no, I don't have it on me, officer. I was talking in more general. I'm just spending time with my kid here, showing him around the lesser-known parts of our hometown. It wouldn't be worth.
Not that he would have to worry about being robbed. He looks surprisingly buff. Does he work out?
Sure. What's on your mind? Yes, they even built a pleasure wheel, but that got destroyed in the war.
A pleasure wheel?
Yes. To lure in their star engineers. This part of Martinez was nothing but reeds before it felt arrived. They had to make the prospect of living... Actually, no one knows. No one even knows what a computer made...
Buckle up.
"10 years ago, I did a little freelancing, I guess you could say. I was a special consultant for an exhibition at the Wompty Dumpty Dum Center in Vredefort, Oranje.
Wait, did he just say Wompty Dumpty? He did it. He said Wompty Dumpty Dum Center. Like it's the... What the hell is a Wompty Dumpty Dum Center? And this is all ninsy-pinsy garbage for sissy people.
Yes, tape computers and Feld electrical. But of course, what else?
A once bright mural towering above you. The signage has peeled off. A slogan used to intertwine with the loops a long time ago. Now, only a shadow of peeled letters remains. It says, "Tomorrow is just a whisper away."
Looks like tomorrow never came.
There's some tear, an empty cigarette package, and a crumpled kebab wrapper in the trash bin. You pick up the handset. There's a tone. The machine is operable. Calling. 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 Still calling. Still calling.
Stop calling me, man. I'll get you your money, alright? I just need till tonight. Let me work. You got the wrong number. Don't call here again.
Disconnect tone. Calling.
I'm tired.
Sounds like he hasn't talked to anyone in quite a while.
If I could go just 1 month without writing, no, 2 months, I could regenerate my brain. Fucking liberalism.
The man disappears with a sigh. You do not hear the customary disconnect tone, just silence in the handset. The machine is still waiting for you to dial a number. Seems like it did not have time to swallow the coin. This sometimes happens. Lucky you. The call went too fast for the payphone to register. You can still make a new one without paying. You close your eyes and put your index finger on the rotary dial, then pull down on the number, then move one up, and repeat the motion. Twat strange. This is not how you started before. You dialed 001. This is not the area code of Revachol. It is another destination on another Isola, some far-off nation-state. 005 is Revachol, ZOC. 001 is Grad, on the Gradian Isola, where the telephone was invented. The next 2 digits you dial are the area code for the city of Mirova. 414447. The 1117361. Your fingers keep moving like a spider every time the ring rotates back with a little ring of metal, like a bell tolling. Yes, 45167 451. You are going deeper now, into some unknown place, far away from this island of matter and its telecommunication networks. 451. You have dialed God knows how many numbers. The headset has been waiting silently to relay a signal. Surely nothing can come of this, you think. But it does. A connection. An ultra-long distance call. Your air fills with a crackle, the wash of a strange ocean full of white noise. A little bird starts ringing in there, not like the local calling tone before. No, a small ring in a cage of distortion, far away. A distant network of phones. Calling. Calling in the night. Pitiful and terrifying. You feel your pulse rise with each ring. Calling still. Ringing by the bedside of a dark but capacious apartment with long windows. You know this to be true. The handset starts slipping from your sweaty palm. Your breathing is heavy. You just do, and you know it is going to hurt. The lieutenant is too far away to hear your yelp. The sea wind blows. Calling. 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 Calling still. Then the ocean breaks. Out of the depths, a woman's voice emerges. Small. The dearest thing you've ever heard.
Hello? Who is this? Dora, who is this? The connection is bad.
In the distorted distance, you hear someone turning next to her. Bed springs rattle. Don't react. Whatever you do, don't react to that last thing. It doesn't matter if you react or not. You still think you hear a man's voice in the background. It's covered in pain and white noise.
No. It's you, isn't it? It's you.
A sigh. She heard you, but she does not hang up. And neither do you. You can't. That's it. You're caught in a trap. It'll take quite a while for the shit circus to end now.
You're not ominous, Harry. You're drunk.
You only have 2, maybe 3 things left to say before the change runs out.
Because it's me. Look, I don't understand what you're saying or why you're calling me. You seem drunk. Oh, God. Do you know what time it is? It's so late here. It's 4 o'clock, Harry. I need to wake up in 2 hours. What do you want to talk about that we haven't talked about already?
This is bad. You feel your right hand on the handset cramping up with pain.
Yes, I'm in my rover, sleeping. To work.
No response, only a sigh. The connection crackles like burning paper.
Yes.
Your hand isn't moving. The headset hisses in your ear with evil sadness. She does not answer anymore.
Harry.
Disconnect tone. The machine ran out of money. An old door, worn by elements, guards the depot. The wind has... just dead and dying locusts, and the slow swaying of surrounding. The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex wax painting on a single pane.
Yes, what is it?
Yes?
Hi again. So, how are things going?
Goodbye, officer.
Huh?
I see you're here again. Off-sign, man. Did I mention getting us into the church would help? Don't think so. Big bad frequencies are extremely negative. Fault suppression.
There is fear there, but also curiosity. He just needs a reason to help you.
Besides, our own signs aren't even synced yet. So how am I supposed to get you synced up with a big bad? It don't make any sense, law lover. I'm doing what I can.
Back to the heavyweight jam. Hardcore! Hardcore! Yeah!
This young man adds a capital G before the H in his yeags and args. This produces a guttural, Gotvaldian accent and makes him sound more animal. Or maybe it's not Gotvaldian. Maybe it's Oranese. Probably an homage to Oranje, where Arno van Eyck is from, judging by his name. Could you be listening to an Arno van Eyck creation right now?
You know about him? You know Van Eyck? Wow!
The skinny wraith looks at you with some disbelief.
So am I! So am I! Oh! Is that why they call you Egghead? Because... Egghead to the Mega! The K became the G! The boy became the man! The Advent? We're close. True, hard, full car! Hardcore! Hardcore to the Mega! Here comes the night!
Hello again.
You see that seagull up there? Remind you of anybody? You and the seagull are just alike. Think about the seagull's story. It's one of endurance and adaptation. The seaside was paradise once. They were birds of that paradise. Then their paradise became shit city. And what did they do? They became urban survivors, eating burgers out of trash cans, killing and eating pigeons. No time for that sentimental bullshit. They're hustlers, getting shit done. They're one pair of track pants away from gangsters, just like you. You have. The body remembers. Own it. Steal hot dogs. Shit in the sand. Whatever it takes to keep going.
Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down, bastards. Oh, that's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? This calls for a funeral, if you ask me. Police business. I understand. Anything I can help you with? Oh? Who? Well, how can I assist you then, officer? Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly. Guns are expensive and fragile, I think. Besides, I got kids. Can't have guns around them, and sometimes a sharp blade is enough to keep folks at bay. From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time. No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check. It would put me in an early grave. Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed. And one of them, I ended up marrying. Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Gone.
The harbour seawall endures the wash of the freezing waves. Many things wash up against it and onto the beaches of Rivershop. Some inanimate, some just no longer alive. You shudder.
To the waves. The sea took him. It was a long time ago. Who knows? Maybe he fell over. He didn't respect the sea. Went out there, drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day the boat was found floating empty. The bloated corpse turned up 2 weeks later. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles.
She really liked those muscles, though. It's in the way she pronounces sinewy.
Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her. She looks like she's ready to go on a date with another, better, drunk. Ask her. Both of you could need some action.
Hello again. How can I help you? Have you tried it before?
The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of the knickknacks on display. Looks like he doesn't want to get involved. Go ahead then, he thinks. As long as you can walk straight, I don't care. He won't be your nog, but he won't be thrilled about this either.
Here you go, man.
Yes, darling. That's the coalition government ordained pyrrolidon. Straight into your gut. Not so sure about this.
Of course.
Everything's still cool here, officer.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a moment, officer.
10-4, come in, officer. Over. Roger that. 10-10, over and out.
It's you again. What is it? Again, just get the dead guy's autograph, since you're his biggest fan.
Good one, Titus.
We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, copper?
Didn't they teach you anything at the cop school, idiot?
You're pretty sure you've had at least 2 years of cop school and many more of active service. Certainly enough to not put up with this backsass. Deliver a knockdown observation.
Maybe wrap it up instead?
Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him try to assert dominance over you.
Not in the arresting mood?
A fearful readiness, like an electrical charge, raises hairs in the room. By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his holster. You hear the nylon of his coat hiss as he steps closer. Easy. Walk back from the provocation. They're armed, and they outnumber us. The lieutenant tries to establish eye contact with you.
Wise move. You made the right choice there. Now make another one, and get the fuck out of our booth. We're not gonna do this again. How many people have you sent to the Shays? Ever felt remorse for them?
Chaise électrique is the method of capital.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life.
The River Esperance Correctional Facility, a military prison run by the Coalition, dubbed Reunion by the inmates. The origin of the name is unknown.
Rest assured, lawman. None worse than our guy. He got what was coming to him.
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. You can't arrest a Hardy Boy without arresting all Hardy Boys. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
That's for the courts in Les Jardins to decide. Not for the officer making an arrest. Which we all know you won't be. What you can do right now is go back to your station and write a report.
No. We'll stay here and discuss what happened that night.
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night. Seemed like a good way to end the week. Why not? Yap my ear off. I got nothing to hide. Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out alive in my town. And he stepped out alive.
What kind of mercenary?
The kind that shows up when you start a strike. The experienced kind, too. Had Cohoy and Semenine written all over him. Ex-Oranese Special Forces.
A live grenade. Right here in our bar.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every strike from here to Samara.
Cause one night, he walked straight up to the mic and said, "I'm Oranese goddamn Special Forces, and I'm gonna fuck you all!"
Really?
Yeah, really. Had a gin and tonic up there, sang some Oranese paratrooper song, and said he's gonna fuck everyone.
We couldn't believe it either, but he fucking did, right there. Like some kind of animal.
Sire, the tale is true. This is a serious violation of the karaoke code.
Wrong. He harassed women, raped one, harassed workers, threatened to kill some as a warning.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. Why the strange de-escalation? He regrets mentioning it. Hopes you didn't notice.
To kill us all, if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. And that was before he started coming here.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. drinking, grabbing girls. Grab one of ours mid-karaoke, right there on the stage.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl, young. Gets into the second verse of Lover Lake. The fucker grabs her legs, starts screaming. Show me your cunt! Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening? My man is talking to you. He took care of it. They got the girl out before anything else could happen.
Yeah, me and Eugene got her out. Aren't you fucking listening?
There's something odd here. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is a serious allegation. Make them talk about it.
No, you're not getting the name. That's a Martinez matter, and I'm not discussing it with you clowns. We hanged him up by his neck until he got real still. Wasn't that obvious, Copper?
Didn't they teach you anything?
You're pretty sure you've had at least certainly enough to not put up with his backsass. Deliver a knockdown observation.
Look, I'm not gonna play 20 questions with you, Capo. I'll say it again. We killed him.
Yeah, I knocked him out. Came up behind him and clubbed him in the back of the head. He went down like a sack of sand.
That's right, lawman. And then we hanged the fuck.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first, then see if it all adds up.
My fucking elbow, Copper. Samaran boxing style.
Samaran boxing, or Sambo, is an eloquently violent set of one-on-one fighting moves, originating from the Samaran Isola. Sambo style implies stealth, cleverness, and cool. He may be lying, but he's good at it. No twitching, no rushing, no uncalled for details.
Right fucking here. Eugene already told you that the fuck had started coming to our bar.
Yeah, man, weren't you listening?
With numbers, asshole. How do you think? You're right, Lizzie. I've done enough explaining here.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to our bar. It happened right here.
Titus lets the others clear out the details, so he doesn't get his hands muddy with explaining too much. Actually, they're admirably, surprisingly composed. The entire room, given how many questions you've lobbed their way. Well, this one, but he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up.
Like what, Copper? About fucking time.
Clausia is playing them like a fiddle. Tell them how bad they got played, and they'll tell you the truth. There are many ways to go about it. All of them really good. Those are the other guys. My shit is solid gold. You can trust me. Oh, you don't like these arguments? Let's see you come up with your own then. Come on, everyone's waiting. Where are they? Whatever, just do the fiddle thing, sire. It'll be artistic. And if you've already done it, do it again.
What the hell are you talking about? Look around, cop. These men are dock workers. They don't want to hear about your psycho circus.
I don't know, boss. I'm always up for another suicide attempt.
Yeah, me too. I'm always up to see a cop cry.
You won't hear it. That's enough for the circus now, officer. Let's do procedural questions, or even, why not take a little breather?
These working class oafs don't know how to talk about feelings. You shouldn't have opened up to them, or anyone.
Sir? Oh, kings and queens, and I think that's why people read them. To find the...
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
Mm-hmm.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People. Oh yes, how's my precious doing? She's a good girl. As a young girl should be, with the proper attitude, she'll have a bright financial future. As a young girl should be, with the proper attitude, she'll have a bright financial future.
The woman before you scans the store. Her shoulder.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits. It's not good to talk about the curse, not in...
Wow. Void raves. Such raves may prove a formidable enemy. Suit up.
The curse is so much worse. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy. It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cacodemons, feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here.
The woman before you scans the store. The trash container stands in the spring. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. You see milk. A box falls into pieces in your hand. Not much to see here anymore. Just, there's nothing more of interest in this sludge of pee. The container sounds a muffled gong.
What do you see? I don't know. They're about the same size. Not the same boat, no, but they could be the same person. No, these prints are pretty standard. The ones in the dust looked custom. Or maybe they're just a foreign design. It's a boot print, whatever the case. A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by...
It is not impossible.
As I said, I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Revachol. 7 days below freezing. The day before his hanging was...
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Indeed. They all stood in a row here and looked at the tree.
So far, so good. Only one thing missing.
Of course, there were 8 tracks, but there are only 7 Hardy Boys.
There's one pair missing from the Union box. The 8th pair. I'm going to say it was our old soul. Yes, I doubt the Hardys are going to tell us who this person is. For now, it's best if we just keep our eyes open. I'm sure our investigation will eventually lead us to the old soul.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the...
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new. Yes?